So if you found this video, you might be exploring a career in car sales, you might have just got hired at a car dealership, or you might be thinking about getting into the automotive industry. So I'm gonna go over a few things you need to consider if a career in car sales is right for you. Who am I? My name is Christopher. I have the channel Cars Unlocked here, and I've worked as a car sales associate for about almost going on a decade now. So I have a lot of experience in the industry. And at one point, I was just like you, wondering if selling cars was worth the risk. So here's a few things you need to consider. And I'm gonna start with the big one right away, and that's the pay plans. Most car sales dealerships, they don't offer like a monthly salary or an hourly rate. It's pretty much straight commission, and you need to be able to budget your commissions effectively month after month in order to pay your expenses and pay your bills. So if you're not a good kind of budgeter, or you can't manage your money and you normally live like paycheck to paycheck, that might be challenging as a car sales associate, because some paychecks are higher and some paychecks are lower. It kind of goes in peaks and valleys. So that's something you need to consider. If you can't manage your financials accordingly and save money and kind of predict your sales from month to month, it might not be the best for you. However, there is a positive side to being on commission. It's kind of a factor of the harder you work, the more commission you make. And if you work harder than the next person, you'll make a higher commission than that next person. And that's what I love about being in the car sales industry. Your pay is dependent on you and you alone. So if you work hard and you're dedicated and driven, you should be able to earn very high commissions, and you can earn a monthly income that most people won't earn based on your age and experience. And that brings me on to my next point here. Your experience doesn't matter. You can have a college degree, you can have a doctor's degree, you can be straight out of high school, and you can still get a job and be successful in this industry. So it doesn't matter what your education is, you're gonna learn as you go. You also want to consider your hours and your scheduling. It's definitely a matter of the more hours you work, probably the more benefit or the more income you're gonna make and the more you're gonna get out of the career. If you just want a straight 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, this industry is not right for you. You're gonna be working weekends, you're gonna be working evenings, you're gonna be working, you might be going in on your day off. There's a lot of flexibility that you need to have in terms of your scheduling in order to be successful and earn a high income. Saturdays are the busiest days. You kind of got to think of the opposite. Most people that work a 9 to 5 will want to come in after their shifts or on their days off, which is Saturday. So you need to be available at those times. So if you're looking just for a regular schedule, I would consider a different career, because you're going to be working flexible hours. Some nights you might need to work all day, where you work what we call bell to bell, which is like a 9 to 9 or a 10 to 10, whatever your dealership hours are. You might have to work Saturday from 9 to 5. It all depends on your dealership and the flexibility that you have, but certainly you want to be available for your customers. Now, I have a Cars Unlocked training course, which I'm gonna link in my description below, to help you get started and increase your career in car sales and elevate your car sales game faster. And in my course, I talk about how being available is more important than being in demand. You can be in demand all you want, but if you're not available for those people demanding you, you're not going to be successful. So you want to make sure you have a flexible schedule and you are available. So consider that before you enter. Are you locked up on Saturdays? Or do you have family commitments every weekend? Do you have kids and you can only work 9 to 5? Those are things you need to consider, because you will miss out on commissions if you're in that situation. Ask yourself, are you a people person? You don't have to be a car nut or a gearhead or know everything about cars. I didn't when I first started. I didn't know much about engines and transmissions and different cars. In fact, the car manufacturer I started at, I'd never once been in one of those vehicles until I started working at that manufacturer. You learn as you go, and you want to ask yourself, are you a people person? Because majority of your time you're going to be spent talking to people and driving cars with them. That's basically what you do. You talk to people and you go on car rides with them. And that's majority of the job. So you want to ask yourself, are you a people person? Can you deal with people? Do people get along with you well? Do people like you? And can you convince them to part ways with their money? That's the main thing. So consider yourself and your attributes. Are you outgoing? Are you energetic? Are you friendly? These are all types of things that you need to have to be successful and make a successful career in car sales. You also want to be willing to train and grow. So are you someone who self-learns? Watching YouTube videos like this is great. Taking courses, studying from other people, doing outside training beyond what your dealership offers you. This is something that you need to practice in order to grow. So if you're type of the person that reads books or learns however you learn, if you're willing to learn and grow, then you're gonna be successful. But if you come in closed-minded and think you know everything about sales and you're the greatest salesman in the world, you're not gonna be successful. You need to be flexible, adaptive, and you need to grow. You need to be coachable, and you need to practice some self-training. And these are all things that I've learned along the way. I kind of envision it as like you're having a tool belt, and you have a tool belt of tools attached to you. And every single day you're adding to your tool belt, watching a video like this, reading a book, studying guys like Grant Cardone and things like that. You can add to your tool belt. So if you guys want to level up, like I said before, check out my training in the link below, and that's a good start. But make sure you're coachable, and you can also self-train if you want to be successful. Before you start your career, you also need to consider what type of person you are. Are you one of these people that needs like validation from others or cares about what other people think? You need to really have a thick skin in this game, because first of all, your customers aren't going to care about you, and they're not going to appreciate you. Some people will, but most people won't. They won't have a level of respect for you that you might be thinking that you deserve, or things like that. So you got to be prepared to be ghosted on the phone, hung up on, booking appointments, and the customers not show up without any notification. You need to be prepared for customers to insult you. They might yell at you and they might complain, and you need to have a thick skin in order to be prepared for this. And you also want to think outside of work. Generally, when you tell people that you're a car salesperson or car salesman or car saleswoman, people will instantly take you down a peg, and they'll think, oh, this guy's a shady car salesman. They're gonna think he lies or she lies. They're gonna think that he steals. They're gonna just instantly take you down a peg right when you tell them that. Now, you wanna be able to sell cars honestly and legally, but people will just instantly get that impression of you once you tell them where you work, that you don't do things by the book and you're not legal. And that's just the unfortunate representation that this business has and this industry has received from our past associates over the years. So make sure you have a thick skin. If you don't care what other people think of you, that's great. People tell me all the time when we're comparing jobs or employment and stuff, and I can instantly tell when I tell them that they've kind of taken me down a peg. However, if you're able to get to know people and earn their respect from an outside level, you'll do great. Or if you just don't care what other people think of you, that's even better, and that's kind of how I try to live my life. Are you dedicated? Are you determined? Are you driven? These are questions you want to ask yourself. You want to ask yourself, are you going to do everything that you can possibly, honestly and legally, to get a sale? Are you going to call people when you're not busy? Are you going to text people? Are you going to make video walkarounds of cars to add value to your customers? Are you going to do everything it takes to sell a car? And that's what you need to ask, and that's what you need to do. If you're gonna go in there and make half an effort or make a 50% or even 70% effort, you're not gonna be successful. So you really need to hustle and grind, and you need to put in the work every single day, making calls, sending emails, sending text messages, booking appointments, calling clients, even talking to people outside your work. It's not a job where you can just close the door and leave and be done. You need to bring it home with you, and it's more of a lifestyle. You need to tell people outside of work what you do. You need to answer calls while you're outside of work and follow up with customers every single day, every single hour, and that's how you're gonna be successful. So if you're not prepared for that, maybe you should choose a different career. So to conclude here, guys, if you're considering a career in car sales, and maybe I've kind of told you what to consider, what not to consider, do you have what it takes? That's what you want to ask yourself, because if you do and you fit some of the attributes that I've been talking about here, you can certainly earn a huge living. Triple figure salaries are very obtainable in the car industry without any education. There's a lot of jobs where you need further education, but the beauty of the car sales industry is you don't need any required education. You might just need your driver's license and a few certifications depending on where you live. However, you don't need diplomas or degrees or anything like that, or have college education to be successful. You just need to have some of the attributes I've listed in this video. So guys, if you want to learn more and accelerate your car sales training, make sure you check out all my YouTube videos. We're going to put my car sales training playlist in the video below, and check out my online course for car salesmen. It's called the Cars Unlocked Academy. I'm going to have it linked in the description below. You can join our private Facebook group where you can learn and connect with other car sales associates, and you can ask me questions. I do live training about 2 to 3 times a month, and I can answer any of your questions that you have or anything you're struggling with in the live training on our Facebook page, Cars Unlocked Academy. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.